Right, hi everyone, this is day 3 of the mind and it's a Gemini moon, so, but again, you could watch this whenever. And I've got my hat on because I'm dyeing my hair later on today and my grey is coming in like you wouldn't believe. So again, I wouldn't really be too bothered about that because I film even when that's happening anyway, but I'm keeping it on, basically. So, well, for this one I am anyway. So, because again, I've just been out and I thought I'm just keeping on because I needed to film these. So, right, anyway, we've only got 8 minutes left, so that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do something a bit different. I'm going to do a wee video on EFT, like tapping basically today. Now, I do that in my one-to-one clients when I recognise that it'd be helpful for them and more in-depth things to do with trauma and stuff. It really depends, like complex trauma and stuff. But, yeah, I'm going to use one of these cards to guide what we'll tap on. And I'm probably going to use the pause button a lot in this just to, because I often forget like the order of what to tap in, even though like I've been doing this for years and that. So, yeah, but you won't notice because I'll just pause it here and there. So anyway, but yeah, so it's just to give you a wee taste of it. I'll be doing more stuff like that in the second level of the membership, but I feel guided to do that for this last one. So what have we got here? What are we going to tap on? And this will at least be someone's out there or a few people's. And I've just filmed the shorts and the card about self-worth came up, this one. So I'm going to show that actually. Self-worth, elevate. You get what you believe you deserve. It's time to raise your standards. So I might use it for the thumbnail because it's relevant for this. So what have we got? Changing them. Trying to change someone never works. Accept them as they are or move on. Whoa, harsh, isn't it? Wait a minute. Very relevant though, on the twin flame journey and with other, checking lipstick wasn't my teeth. So we can incorporate that into tapping with, so let's say you're the one with your problem. You're the one with the problem. Your problem is you find yourself feeling like you want to, you can't, like you want to change somebody, but you have to accept that you can't. They've got to go through that transformation themselves, whether this is in love, family, friends, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? So, side of the hand, okay? So I just want you to tap, wait a minute. I'm just, right, so I always forget that bit because I just, whenever it comes to a sliding scale, I'm like, what's the point? But yeah, basically, whatever you've picked, right, I'm going to run out of time on this, but anyway, whatever you've picked, choose from 0 to 10, with 0 being the least and 10 being the most. Yeah, really, like how severe have you got that problem? You can change the problem, but we have to work with that one as example if that's not your problem, right? So, you know, how badly do you find yourself wanting to change people, you know? So is it on an 8, you know what I mean, quite bad, or is it like a 5, or, you know? And then, so now you tap on this bit of your hand, right? So the opposite of your thumb here, right? So, you know, you can do that, or I think that, whatever feels comfortable to you. So we're going to stick with that. So even though I have these feelings coming up about feeling like I want to change this and that about someone, I accept that I have these feelings, but we can't change other people. We have to accept them as they are. And we can hope and pray that they change what they need to change for them based on what they feel is right for them. Something like that, right? And I unconditionally love myself through it all. I love and accept myself. I unconditionally love myself. Something like that, right? So we've not got time to go through all the rest, but I will quickly. So I'll really, really quickly do it. So the eyebrow point, right? Even though I'm having all these thoughts, it's racing around my mind and I feel quite out of control about not being able to help this person, and I feel like I could help this person. I feel like I have the answers. I release that and let go of that. And let go and let God and let that person deal with their problems. And I'll focus on what I need to focus on in my life. And I love and accept myself anyway. I mixed up already. Up here's where you're first go. So, yeah, I can find myself overthinking about this issue. See, I mean, I'm changing it a bit for other people. I can find myself overthinking about this. I'm really stressed now, and then the negative thoughts start. Just going to take a deep breath and centre. And again, if it's to do with other people, I'm going to let other people focus on their stuff and I'll focus on mine. And I can still be a good friend, I can still be a good lover, I can still be a good family member, I can still be a good whatever, but I'm going to love and accept myself through it all. Right, I'm skipping the other ones because this is my favourite. Sometimes I can feel like everything's caving in around me. The thoughts, the stuff I need to do, the worries, and it makes me feel not good enough, and I freeze, and I don't get anything done, or I don't get as much as I want to get done in a day. But I know I'm doing the best I can, and I love and accept myself. That's my favourite one. That's the one where I feel enough emotion. That's where I feel it the most. We're skipping some of them. So the collarbone. And now that I've just taken part in this tap-in, missing out what some of them and mucking up the order, but I'm the perfect example of, like, I do what I'm guided to do with this with people in sessions, and honestly, every time I'm guided to do that with someone, it's always exactly what they need, and I don't remember I don't know how I don't remember the order. Some people, but you see, it's probably because it's not the sole thing I do every day with people, so it makes sense to me, but it doesn't matter. You can find other people that do this every day on YouTube, and it'll help you. You know what I mean? But like I said, if you want to do it one-to-one, I can help you incorporate this too. But yeah, even though I'm having all these feelings coming up, and we're about to go on to the feelings, I've just filmed the feelings ones for the shorts for the membership. Even though I'm having all these feelings coming up, it's making me anxious. I could sometimes have panic attacks because I get myself in that much of a state. I know that there's no logical reason for panic attacks. It's a big build-up of emotions, and it's interesting. This is, tapping near the heart. A big build-up of emotions, and it's obviously needed to release from me. And I can feel all the healing going in at the heart as I'm tapping. So this is what I mean. They merge all the other healing that I do when I'm doing this, and I'm doing the best I can. And I love and accept myself through it all. Because we've not got a lot of time left. So like I said, it's funny that I think it's just because to show you it doesn't need to be perfect, right? But because we've not got a lot of time left on this, just how do you feel now on a scale of 0 to 10? So say I mentioned 8, whatever that might be in someone's. How do you feel now? You know what I mean? And just assess. Now, again, I'm not too big on scale things. When I've worked in like professional organisations and all that, people will just write anything. They told me they wrote anything. So you do you. You might, if you're more logical brain, you might like that. But yeah, so because this was just an example, I don't know, but most of the time it does go down, or it can go down quite significantly because I mix in the healing bit, and it would if it was one-to-one. But anyway, the time's going to run out, so just drink some water after that if you took part. And yeah, this is today's one. So I'll see you for the ones about the emotion on the next one. See you later.